What up, though? The A through Z list of black inventors. This is by Christopher McFadden, 2018. W.B. Abrams, Haim attachment. George Edward Alcorn Jr., X-ray spectrometer for distant galaxies and 19 others. C.W. Allen, self-leveling table. J.B. Allen, clothesline support. Alexander P. Ashbourne, process preparing coconut for domestic use. Biscuit cutter, process of treating coconut, refining coconut oil. William Bales, ladder scaffold support. L.C. Bailey, combined truss and bandage, folding bed, shampoo head rest. Don't just listen to me. Think about the things you use on a daily basis. Think about the things that you see in your daily travels or in your travels that you use, that you are familiar with. Remember, these are the Americans who invented these things. And as you can see from L.C. Bailey on the screen, the combined truss and bandage folding bed shampoo headrest, the patent date was 1899, 1893, 1883, I'm sorry. Think about all that you've heard about so-called black Americans or African Americans or colored, mulatto, Negro, American Indians. Think about what they were doing in the 1800s. Think about what you've heard that they were doing. Shackles on the neck and wrist and ankles. Well, some of them were. And they called them prisoners on the chain gang, which put them into, I guess you would call that chattel slavery. If you're picking up people on bogus charges. C.O. Bailiff, shampoo headrest, patent date 1898. W.J. Ballo, combined hat rack and table, patent 1898. Benjamin Banneker, astronomical almanac. G.A.E. Barnes, design for Psy. Patricia Bath, the cataract laser phaco probe. These patents are being issued in 1898. And from my perspective, this is just my perspective, these patents, the only reason they're necessary is because these patents eventually, along with the actual invention, leave the possession of the people who the patents were issued to. After those people are gone. And who benefits from these things? Of course these brothers and sisters came up with these inventions to provide a service for people. They were a need that was filled by these brothers and sisters. But do their families still benefit from their inventions? I'm not sure. But I know that the system of trademark and patent, or the system of getting a patent, means you give your entire invention over to someone else. and who knows what they do with it. Who knows if the invention is the tree, imagine the branches of that tree, the various things that can also be invented because of that one invention. Again, these are Americans, the only Americans that there ever were. These people are falsely called black. And see, we're going over this because black Americans don't have culture, right? Right? Andrew J. Beard, rotary engine, car coupler, G.E. Beckett, letterbox, Landro Bell, broom moisteners and bridles, dough kneader. Think about this. If we're talking 1892, 1871, you've been told that these people's parents or these people were freed after chattel slavery, after being brutally treated for decades, even centuries maybe. And then after they are no longer slaves, all of a sudden, these people are inventing things, not inventing things that just make their lives easier. Remember, so they jumped from being able to take care of themselves to inventing things that the world is using today. Landro Bell, broom moisteners and bridles, dough kneader. L.W. Benjamin, broom moisteners and bridles. M.E. Benjamin, gong and signal chairs for hotels. Edmund Berger, spark plug. M.W. Binga, street sprinkling apparatus. A.B. Blackburn, railway signal, spring seat for chairs, cash carrier. L. Blue, design for rubber scraping knife. L. F. Booker, spring seat for chairs. Sarah Boone, ironing board. H. A. Bowman, making flags. Otis Boykin, the artificial heart pacemaker control unit. I hear so many people saying that black people this and black people that. And of course, they're all talking about the black American or the African American, but properly the only American in America today. And they have all manner of advice on how we should behave and what we should do and what we should get over and how we should move forward. No one around the world has done more. Henrietta Bradbury, the bed rack. Benjamin Bradley, first steam engine for a ship. Brodie and Shergwar, folding chair. Charles B. Brooks, street sweepers. Punch. Halstead Page Brooks, street sweepers. Henry Brown, desktop file box, the modern day fireproof safe. Lincoln F. Brown, bridal bit. MVB Brown, early form of CCTV. John Burr, lawnmower. Burridge and Marshman, typewriter. W. Burwell, boot or shoe. Come on, man. But black Americans don't have culture, right? Is that what you say? Next time you say what black Americans need to do, you take a second to think about what your people did, what they've done. R.A. Butler, train alarm. John W. Butts, luggage carrier. T.J. Bird, improvement in holders for reins for horses, apparatus detaching horses from carriages, improvement in neck yokes for wagons, improvement in car couplings. W.S. Campbell, self-setting animal trap. B.F. Cargill, invalid cot. T.A. Carrington, range. W.C. Carter, umbrella stand. George Washington Carver, peanut butter cosmetics, producing the same and producing the same. Paint and stain and producing the same. Producing paint and stains. He's the only one you hear about in school. He's one of the only ones you hear about in school is George Washington Carver. Well, on our list today, he's number 44. And the order is insignificant, but he is number 44. So that means that we've went through 43 people already. And the inventions from those 43 people, a lot of those things are, you couldn't live without them. Well, the world couldn't live without them. Jerry M. Certain, parcel carrier for bicycles. M.A. Cherry, velocipede, streetcar fender. T.S. Church, carpet beating machine. O.B. Clare, trestle. Robert Coates, overboot for horses. George Cook, automatic fishing device. J.S. Coolidge, harness attachment. When you do your genealogy, keep an eye out. Or if one of these is your last name or one of these is your relatives, shout out in the comments. Let us know which one is your relative. Let us know what great man or woman, what great American you are related to. George Cook, automatic fishing device. J.S. Coolidge, harness attachment. A.R. Cooper, shoemaker's jack. J. Cooper, shutter and fastening. Elevator device. P.W. Cornwell, draft regulator. W.F. Cosgrove, automatic stop plug for gas oil pipes. Alfred L. Crawl, ice cream mold and disher. H. Creamer, steam trap feeder, steam feed water trap. George R. Carruthers, the ultraviolet camera spectrograph. J.T. Darkins, ventilation aid. Ventilation aid. The patent date is 1895. I.D. Davis, tonic. William D. Davis, riding saddles. Riding saddles, 1896 is the patent date. W.R. Davis Jr., library table. W.A. Dietz, shoe. W.A. Dietz, shoe. Patent date 1867. Martha Mary Jones, Martha Mary DeLeon Jones, a cooking apparatus. Joseph H. Dickinson, player piano, arm for recording machine. O. Dorsey, doorknob, doorstop, doorknob, doorstop. Patent date 1878. Clatonia Joaquin Dorticus, applicator for coloring liquids. Soles and heels, machine for embossing photo. Photographic print wash. Hose leak stop. Gertrude E. Downing, corner cleaner attachment. Paul L. Downing, mailbox. Mailbox. Philip B. Downing, electric switch for railroad. Letterbox. Charles R. Drew, MD, apparatus for preserving blood, blood plasma bag. J.H. Dunnington, horse detachers. T.H. Edmond, separating screens. Ellen Eglin, mechanical clothes wringer. Did you know that niggas invented all these things? This wasn't hidden. This wasn't hidden. It's just that you was fed a story at the same time this was going on. You was told that your people was walking in circles while this was going on. See, that's why it's so important to know your story. Because if you know your story, you know how you fit into his story or histories. Look, I'm not mad at someone for not making you learn your story. The only burden these people have who dished out the patents was the burden of doing their job or what they were doing. That's it. Their job wasn't to broadcast that your people was doing all these things, that they were responsible for all these things. Many of the people who look like you, who are in the business of telling you that you've never done anything because you're not even from here. Those people know what you've done. As a matter of fact, they are related to some of these names that I am reading from this list right now. J.H. Evans, convertible settees. H. Faulkner, ventilated shoe. F.J. Farrell, steam trap, apparatus for melting snow. David A. Fisher Jr., joiner's clamp, furniture caster. So did you think this is the last patent? This patent was 1876. So during this time, the large wave of Europeans were coming through Ellis Island. Okay? But for some reason, you think that all those people who came through Ellis Island from Europe, Afro-Eurasia, were all the king and queen's men and women. And you think they came to a place that we call America and there was nothing here. You think that someone else made all these things and therefore your people didn't do anything because your people were just slaves. This is what you call your family. This is what you call your people, slaves. When your people is O.A. Fisher, furniture caster, Robert F. Fleming Jr., guitar, Robert F. Fleming Jr., guitar. So how could anyone else play the guitar if a nigga created it? You think he didn't know how to play it? You think he didn't have something that resembled a guitar before he invented the guitar? George F. Grant, golf tee. There's nothing that so-called Black Americans didn't invent. But yet, there are foreigners, and a lot of them look like you, that say Black Americans don't have culture. Black Americans are lazy. Black Americans don't know how good they have it. Sarah E. Good, cabinet bed. Meredith C. Gordine, electro gas dynamic method and apparatus. R.H. Gray, baling press, cistern cleaners. J. Gregory, motor. J. Gregory, motor. Patent 1887. H. Grennan, razor stropping device. F. W. Griffin, pool table attachment. S. W. Gunn, boot or shoe. J. H. Haynes, portable basin. Lloyd Hall, food preservation techniques. Julia Terry Hammonds, apparatus for holding yarn skeins. Who do you think helped all the foreigners when they got here? Who do you think was responsible for all the millions and millions of foreigners surviving when they got here? Mark Hanna, a pioneer of 3D graphics and films. F.H. Harding, extension banquet table. M.C. Harney, lantern or lamp. Betty Wright, Dr. Betty Wright Harris, TATB spot test. I know. Wrap it up. Close out the show. If I keep going, you won't have any excuses. MC Harvey, lantern. Joseph Hawkins, gridiron. Lincoln Walter Hawkins, plastic cable sheath. Now you can see why the foreigners came and wanted your stuff. Now you see why they wanted to come here. Wouldn't you want to come here if R. Hawkins invented the harness attachment? If M. Heaton invented the foot power hammer? If R. Hirness invented the sealing attachment for bottles, detachable car fenders? If A.F. Hillier invented the water evaporator attachment, hot air registers? Yeah, he or she invented the water evaporator attachment, hot air registers, not putting fluoride in your water. They didn't invent that. E.H. Holmes, Gage. Lydia M. Holmes, the knockdown wheeled toy. John W. Hunter, portable weighing scales. R.N. Hyde, composition for cleaning and preserving carpets. B.F. Jackson, they probably had some really nice carpets in their home, right? You think they don't have homes? This is 1888. You think they don't have homes? You thought that every nigga was barefoot? Not that anything is wrong with barefoot. It's actually ideal. But I mean, they wanted some shoes, so they invented some shoes. But now you buy your shoes that's made on an assembly line, and they not worth the paper that you pay for them. R.N. Hyde, composition for cleaning and preserving carpets. I know they had beautiful carpets. I know our people made beautiful carpets. B.F. Jackson, heating apparatus. Matrix drying apparatus, gas burner. H.A. Jackson, I wish they had these people full names. H.A. Jackson, kitchen table. W.H. Jackson, the kitchen table. We talking carpenters here. Heating apparatus, matrix drying apparatus, gas burner. We're talking electricians and all manner of people, man. Great people. W.H. Jackson, railway switch, automatic locking switch. Thomas L. Jennings, dry scouring cleaning technique. Dry scouring cleaning technique. Now, who owns every cleaners that you've ever went to? Who? Who's the owner of every cleaners that you've ever taken your clothes to? That's Thomas L. Jennings, dry scouring cleaning technique. Now imagine all these people inventing all these different things, and imagine all of them having little shops where they're providing these things to people. Bicycle frame, Isaac R. Johnson, bicycle frame. I'm at this point. I'm these men, these American men and women are like Superman and Superwomen, Wonder Woman and Superman, Lonnie Johnson, Super Soaker, and 8 other patents. Super Soaker, Peyton Johnson, swinging chairs, Powell Johnson, eye protector, W.H. Johnson, overcoming dead centers, Willis Johnson, egg beater, paint vehicle, velocipede, Frederick Jones, air conditioning unit, thermostat control, motor ticket dispensing machine. Designed for air conditioning unit, automatically stopping and starting gas engines, 2-cycle gas engine, air conditioning unit, starter generator, thermostatically operating gas engines, rotary compressor, controlling operation of refrigeration units, heating or cooling atmosphere in enclosures, 2-cycle gasoline engine, prefabricated refrigerator construction, refrigeration control device, means of defrosting, a cold diffuser, method for air conditioning, control device for internal combustion engine, thermostat and temperature control system. J.A. Joyce, one bucket. Percy L. Julian, the process of synthesis. George W. Kelly, steam table. Latimer and Brown, water closets for railway cars. Lewis H. Latimer, electric lamp bulb. Electric lamp bulb. Manufacturing carbons, apparatus for cooling and disinfecting, locking racks for coats, hats, and umbrellas. Lewis Nichols, Joseph Latimer, electric lamp. Electric lamp. And that patent was in 1881. That's one of the earlier patents. Lewis Nichols and Joseph Latimer. Electric lamp, patent date 9/13/1881. Who's benefiting from the creation or the inventing of the electric lamp today? Is it Lewis Nichols, Joseph Latimer's families? W.A. Lavalette, printing press. H. Lee, animal trap. Joseph Lee, kneading machine, bread crumbing machine. F.W. Leslie, envelope seal. A.L. Lewis, window cleaner. E.R. Lewis, spring gun. If it wasn't for these people, if it wasn't for the American, what would everyone on the planet do? H. Linden, piano truck. E. Little, bridle bit. A.E. and Jones, A.E. and A.A. Jones long, caps for bottles. F.J. Loudon, keychain, sash fastener, key fastener. They invented everything. Everything. J.L. Love, plasterer's hawk, pencil sharpener. Things you wouldn't even think you need. Maceo West, James Edward Foyle, electric microphone. Foyle, electret microphone. Ludwig Marishane, dry bath. T. Marshall, fire extinguisher. T. Marshall, fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher. W. Marshall, grain binder. Newman R. Marshman, typewriting machine. Yeah, your keyboard. Thomas J. Martin, fire extinguisher. W.A. Martin, lock. Jan E. Matzeliger. Jan E. Matzeliger. Shoe lasting machine, tack separating mechanism, lasting machine, nailing machine, mechanism for distributing tacks. Elijah McCoy, lubricator for steam engines, lubricator, steam lubricator, ironing table, steam cylinder lubricator, steam dome, lubricator attachment, lubricator for safety valve, drip cup, oil cup, lawn sprinkler design, and many more. He has a list of patents, and these are a list of the patent dates from 1872 to 1899. He was busy. D. McCree, he was busy. He was busy in 1870. And guess what? These aren't blacks, and these aren't African Americans, and these are not Negroes. These aren't coloreds. These aren't mulattoes. We'll never truly know what they called themselves and what their families called themselves, of course, unless we do a deep dive into someone else's family. But you can use that time to do a deep dive into who your family is and what they called themselves, because they called you something. What makes you think they didn't call themselves something? And guess what? It's a possibility that they didn't see a need to call themselves anything. They just enjoyed life and were connected to nature. Something that it seemed foreigners aren't. D. McCree, portable fire escape. Portable fire escape. A. Mendenhall, holder for driving reins. Alexander Miles, elevator. C. L. Mitchell, Finiterison. J. M. Mitchell, cheek row corn planter. Cheek row corn planter. Whenever we mention corn, who do you think about? Who you think about when you think of corn, squash, and beans? When you think of the three sisters, you think of Native Americans. But guess what? There are no Native Americans here. There are no Native Americans. There are no Caucasians, Anglo-Saxons, Romans, Chinos, Afro-Eurasians. Not on this list. It's only Americans on this list. J. M. Mitchell, cheek row corn planter. Benjamin Montgomery, shallow water steam propeller. W. U. Moody, game board design. Everything. K. Moorhead, rail carrier. Garrett Morgan, gas mask and traffic light, breathing device, traffic signal. G.W. Murray, combined furrow opener and stalk knocker. Cultivator and marker. Combined cotton seed, cotton chopper, planter and fertilizer distributor, reaper. Attachment for bicycles. L. Nance, game apparatus. H. Nash, life-preserving stool. Lyda D. Newman, improvement on the hairbrush. Patent 1898. S. Newson, oil heater or cooker. W.J. Nickerson, mandolin and guitar attachment for pianos. O'Connor and Turner, alarm for boilers, steam gauge, alarm for coast containing vessels. J.W. Outlaw, horseshoes. J.W. Outlaw, horseshoes? Wait a minute. Horseshoes? Sheesh. Patent 1898. Horseshoes? This brother invented horseshoes? J.W. Outlaw. So the brother probably was also a blacksmith. Alice H. Parker, improvement on the heating furnace. F.R. Perryman, caterer's tray table. Caterer. They was catering. 1892, they was catering. MLK had you thinking that you had to go sit at somebody's diner and eat some bland food with no seasonings, and you couldn't see what they was doing to your food because they didn't want you in their diner. So they spit in your food. They spit in your food to give it flavor. They had you thinking that you had to go sit at somebody else's lunch counter, that you had to go drink from somebody else's water fountain, because that's the only way you was going to quench your thirst. But F.R. Perryman in 1892, he invented the caterer's tray table. H. Peterson, he was working on attachment for lawnmowers in 1889. W.H. Phelps, apparatus for washing vehicles. J.F. Pickering, airship. H. Pickett, scaffold. T.B. Penn, file holder. A.J. Polk, bicycle support. A. Pugsley, blind stop. Purdy and Peters, design for spoons. Purdy and Sagewaar, folding chair. W. Purdy, device for sharpening edge tools. William B. Purvis, bag fastener, hand stamp, fountain pen, electric railway, magnetic car balancing device, electric railway switch. They got it covered. W. Queen, guard for companionways and hatches. Lawrence P. Ray, dustpan. Dustpan. We all use a dustpan. Lawrence P. Ray, dustpan. Thank you. Lloyd P. Ray, chair supporting device. John W. Reed, rolling pin. Rolling pin. Rolling pin. Judy W. Reed, improvements in the dug, kneader, and roller. Humphrey L. Reynolds, windows ventilator for railroad cars, safety gate for bridges. Mary Jane Reynolds, hoisting and loading mechanism. R.R. Reynolds, non-refillable bottle. J.B. Rhodes, the water closet. W.H. Richardson, baby buggy. W.H. Richardson, baby buggy. Your people was showing off. Your people was for real. They was showing off. They was showing their ass. Albert C. Richardson walking with a baby buggy and whatnot. Hame fastener. Albert C. Richardson, hame fastener. Churn, casket lowering device. Casket lowering device. Insect destroyer. Bottle. William H. Richardson, cotton chopper. You thought all your people did was pick cotton for somebody else. Little do you know they were picking cotton for themselves, because who else gonna do it? William H. Richardson, child's carriage. C.V. Ritchie, car coupling, railroad switch, fire escape bracket, combined hammock and stretcher. Now all y'all do is fill the stretcher, is put somebody on the stretcher. C.V. Ritchie, he invented the car coupling, railroad switch, fire escape bracket, combined hammock and stretcher. A.L. Rickman, overshoe. J. Ricks, horseshoe. Norbert Rillo, sugar refiner, evaporating pan. E.R. Robinson, electric railway trolley, casting composite. J. Robinson, dinner pail, life-saving guards for locomotives, life-saving guards for streetcars. So if they doing this, they knew how to build a streetcar and drive it. Yeah, they was bending and grinning. A. Romaine, passenger register. A.L. Ross, runner for stops, bag closure, trouser support. J. Ross, bailing press. Next time you trying to figure out who in control. D.N. Roster, feather curler. S. Ruffin, vessels for liquids and manner of sealing. Lewis A. Russell, guard attachment for beds. William S. Grant, curtain rod support. W.H. Sammons, the comb. W.H. Sammons, the comb. Okay. George T. Sampson, sled propeller, clothes dryer. Henry T. Sampson, cellular phone. R.P. Scott, corn silker. S.R. Scotron, Scotron, adjustable window cornice. cornice pole tip, curtain rod, supporting bracket, Scotron's improvement mirror, curtain rod, SC Shanks, sleeping car, birth register, DW Shorter, feed rack, JH Smith, lawn sprinkler, improvement in games, Mildred E. Smith, family relationship card game. They had it all covered. PD Smith, potato digger, grain binder, Snow and Johns, liniment, H. Spears, portable shield for infantry. Why? RB Spikes, combination milk bottle opener and bottle cover, automatic gear shift, obtaining samples and temp of liquids, transmission and shifting thereof, J Standard, oil stove, refrigerator, Stewart & Johnson metal bending machine, mop, EW Stewart machine for forming vehicle sear, bars, punching machine, Thomas W. Stewart, mop station indicator, E.H. Sutton, cotton cultivator, J.A. Sweeting, device for rolling cigarettes, combined knife and scoop, J.A. Sweeting, device for rolling squares. Patent 1897, B.H. Taylor, rotary engine, slide valve, Lewis Temple, Temple's Toggle, blood harpoon. Temple's Toggle, blood harpoon. There is nothing that the American who you call the black or the African American, there is nothing that the only American there ever was, is, and will be could do. S.E. Thomas, waste trap for basins, closets, etc. Casting pipe connection, Valerie Thomas, illusion transmitter, Valerie Thomas, illusion transmitter. Okay, let's see. Let's read a little bit about Valerie Thomas. It don't have a patent date for some reason. But it says Valerie Thomas is an accomplished African American. She's an accomplished American. In some cases, she's an accomplished American Indian woman. But you'd have to speak with her family to know what her family called themselves. But it definitely ain't African American, because African Americans do not exist, or blacks. Valerie Thomas is an accomplished American scientist, American sister, who's a scientist and inventor who patented the illusion transmitter and contributed greatly to NASA research. She was born in May 1943 in Maryland. Okay. She later graduated from Morgan State University and became one of only 2 women to major in physics there. She later began a lifelong career at NASA in 1964. Unfortunately, sisters like her and brothers and you and me and a lot of us spend our life sharing our many talents with people who don't appreciate them, with people who are using them for BS reasons, for stupid reasons, for miserable reasons, for poisonous reasons, for disgusting reasons, for demonic reasons. Shout out to Valerie Thomas and her family. Great American sister. G. Tolliver, propeller for vessels. Tregening and Latimer, globe supporter for electric lamps. Turner M. Turner, the fruit press. Virgil H. Ammons. Fireplace damper actuating tool. Madam C.J. Walker, straightening comb. P. Walker, machine for cleaning seed cotton, bait holder. J.N. Waller, shoemaker's cabinet or bench. W. Washington, corn husking machine. Corn husking machine. Isaac Watkins, scrubbing frame. J.R. Watts, bucket for miner's lamp. E.H. West, weather shield. John W. West, running gear. Wagon. D.L. White, extension steps for cars. J.T. White, lemon squeezer. Lemon squeezer. Just used one the other day. Make your little lemon juice. C. Williams, canopy frame. J.P. Williams, pillow sham holder. Frank Wynn, direct acting steam engine. Joseph R. Winters, fire escape ladders. J.F. Wood, potato digger. Granville T. Woods, steam boiler furnace. Telephone transmitter app. Telephone transmitter app for transmission of messages by electricity. Relay instrument, polarized relay. Electromechanical brake, electromagnetic brake apparatus. Railway telegraphy. Railway telegraphy. Am I saying telegraphy right? Telegraphy. Induction telegraph system, overhead conducting system for electric railway, electromotive railway system, tunnel construction for electric railway, tunnel construction, galvanic battery, automatic cutoff switch, electric railway system, electric railway conduit, system of electrical distribution, amusement apparatus, electric railway regulating control, electric translating devices, automatic air brake. J. Wormley, life-saving apparatus. Arthur Zhang, the cardio pad. Any questions? 34 highly influential African American, or AKA Black Americans, but properly the only Americans that there were, are, and will be. 34 highly influential Americans, scientists you may not know. Christopher McFadden. Again, Christopher McFadden is writing this article. This is in InterestingEngineering.com. Black scientists have done it all. American scientists have done it all. But yet, people fix their mouth to say Black Americans ain't got no culture. Black Americans don't have culture. The Americans got a trash culture because they look at some and make the many and hold the many accountable. Patricia Bath made significant contributions to ophthalmology. Sister right here, ophthalmology. She was the first American woman to ever complete, the first American to ever, they say African American, but I have to correct it every time I see it. It's just like an involuntary response. She was the first, they say African American properly, the first American to ever complete a residency in ophthalmology at New York University, which she completed in 1973. And you know, in 1973, they were saying, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. So why would they say African American? I mean, I know why. After graduating, she would lead a fruitful career in ophthalmology, with a cherry on top being her invention of the laser phaco probe, the first American female medical professional to earn a patent for a medical purpose in 1986. Bath also became the first female faculty member at the Department of Ophthalmology at UCLA's Jules Stein Eye Institute. She established the American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness in 1976. It didn't say she established the African American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness in 1976. The American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness in 1976. Right? I'm telling you. I mean, how could you look at these people when they tell you that someone is supreme over you? When someone is holding you back, when someone has their foot on your neck, how could you look at them without assuming that they are demons? Harold Amos was one of the first African Americans to earn a medical doctorate. They call you African American because then it's lawful for them to take your stuff. If they call you what you really are, then it's unlawful. Harold Amos was one of the first Americans to earn a medical doctorate. He was drafted, and after returning home from WW2, World War II in 1946, Amos began his graduate studies at Harvard University. In 1946, he was at Harvard. He got you thinking that they got you thinking that all these governmental programs to get you in universities is necessary. See, the people who need these programs to get into universities are the people who are making the policy, are the people who are making the laws and statutes. Those are the people, their brethren, their children are the ones who need these programs in order to get in these universities, because Harold Amos didn't need them. He was drafted, and after returning home from World War II in 1946, Amos began his graduate studies at Harvard University. After becoming the first American to earn a doctoral degree, see, they put African American because they want you to think that a Caucasian, an Anglo-Saxon, Afro-Eurasian, and they call them American. And you don't have any issue with that. We don't have any issue with that because we think American is synonymous with a pink or gray person. Just like we think people think being country is synonymous with a redneck, with a pink neck. Let's shake it. After becoming the first American to earn a doctoral degree from the Division of Medical Sciences, Harvard Medical School, in 1952, Amos traveled to France under a Fulbright fellowship and worked at the Pasteur Institute. He then returned to the U.S. to begin a lifelong career at Harvard, where he would study and teach for the next 50 years. Amos became a full professor in 1969, and later he was the first American to serve as a department chair at Harvard. He would receive many awards throughout his career, including the first Charles Drew World Medical Prize from Harvard University in 1989, an honors cause doctoral degree from Harvard University in 1996, the Centennial Medal of the Harvard Graduate School of Arts and Sciences in 2000, and the National Academy of Sciences' highest honor, the Public Welfare Medal, in 1995. Valerie Thomas made significant contributions to America's space program. whatever that is. Scientific discipline, chemist, physicist, and computer scientist. Date of birth, 1943. She from Maryland. George Washington Carver was a big deal in the American peanut industry. He was a chemist and botanist, born 1864, Diamond, Missouri. At 11, he left the farm to attend a nearby all-black school or a nearby all-American school in 1864. He was born in 1864, so in 1875, he left the farm at 11 years old, and he went to school. You didn't think there were any schools that were. Wait. Hold on. Whoa. 1864 and 11. He was allowed to leave all Massa plantation. He was allowed to leave all Massa. He had to ask Massa. We sick, boss. See, it wasn't none of that. At 11, he left the farm to attend a nearby all-black school, all-American school. He spent an extended period of his career at the Tuskegee Institute, at the Warrior Institute, where he ran the agricultural department and where would make the majority of his scientific discoveries in Bama. Tuskegee. St. Elmo Brady made important contributions to organic chemistry. He was a chemist. He was born 1884 in Kentucky. It says Kentucky, Alabama. Okay, here we go. He was born in Louisville, Kentucky in 1884. He left home at age 20 to enroll at Fisk University, an all-American college in Tennessee. An all-American college in Tennessee. What you think they was teaching there, man? What you think they was teaching there? Do you think they was teaching them that? Do you think they taught Brady that if he tried enough, he can go from being Brady the homeboy to Brady, let's shake it. After graduating with a degree in chemistry, he took up a teaching position at Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute at Tuskegee University today. Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute. After 4 years teaching at Tuskegee, Brady was offered a scholarship to study at University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, where he became the first American to receive a doctorate in chemistry in the U.S., which he earned in 1916. They offered him a scholarship to take him away from the all-American Tuskegee American Indian College. And he went to University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, where he became the first African-American, or properly American, to receive a doctorate in chemistry in the U.S., which he earned in 1916. He also became the first American admitted into Phi Lambda Epsilon, the Chemistry Honor Society. Unfortunately. Brady would spend a quarter of a century developing the undergraduate program at Fisk University and founded the first graduate chemistry program at Howard University. He also helped build the chemistry department at Tougaloo College in Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi. Dr. Betty Harris has helped save thousands of lives. She was a chemist. She was born in 1940. She was born in Louisiana. So that's a Louisiana Indian. Harris was the seventh of 12 children born to her parents in rural Louisiana in 1940s. Harris began college at 16. See, because it says 1940s, they can't say she was born a slave and born to slave parents. It's too late. You know what I mean? It's 1940. Harris was the seventh of 12 children born to her parents in rural Louisiana in 1940s. Harris began college at 16, receiving her BS in chemistry with a minor in mathematics from Southern University in 1961. She earned a MS in chemistry from Atlanta University in Georgia in 1963. After gaining her MS, Harris worked as an assistant professor of chemistry and mathematics at Mississippi Valley State University, Southern University, and Colorado College as an associate professor of chemistry and mathematics. These are some outstanding Americans. She began her doctorate at the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee before working at IBM as a visiting staff member at the Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico. In 1973, she completed a PhD in chemistry. 1973 from the University of New Mexico at Los Alamos, Harris worked as a research chemist in various fields, including explosives and nuclear weapons, hazardous waste treatment, and environmental remediation. I wonder if all of them were sharing their skills with these places because they were benefiting more than the actual institution. Because it almost seems like these amazing Americans are doing these things, and it's just in their nature to be great. Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson has helped revolutionize telecoms. She was born in Washington, D.C. She would later use her passion for science to earn a BS, MS, and PhD in physics. Jackson was the first American woman to earn a PhD from MIT in any field and the second to earn a doctorate in physics in the U.S. Benjamin Banneker developed an early astronomical almanac. He was an astronomer. He was born in 1731 in Maryland. A self-taught astronomer and farmer, Banneker is best known for his series of highly successful astronomical almanacs that predicted events such as solar eclipses, sunrises, and sunsets. Many passages also contain predictions of the weather, seasonal changes, medical remedies, and advice on planting crops. He was an American Indian, right? His accomplishments included constructing an irrigation system for the family farm and a wooden clock that was reputed to keep accurate time and ran for more than 50 years. He made a wooden clock that ran for 50 years. You got a watch on your wrist that's going to last for 2. He also assisted in surveying the territory that would become Washington, D.C. Think he was an American Indian, right? I don't think he would be on this list if he wasn't. Dr. James Edward Maceo West's inventions can be found in many electronic devices today. Scientific discipline: physics, electronics, acoustics. He was born 1931. West is best known for his work in developing the electroacoustic transducer. This compact device is currently found in around 90% of modern microphones, most telephones, old tape recorders, camcorders, and other devices such as hearing aids and baby monitors. West studied physics at Temple University, graduating in 1957. Dr. Leonidas Berry was revolutionary for some aspects of medical science. He was a physician, medical sciences, born 1902 in North Carolina. Berry was born in Woodsdale, North Carolina in 1902. After attending Wilberforce University and the University of Chicago Medical School, he practiced medicine in Chicago for 6 decades. He served as an attending physician and practiced gastroenterology at Freedman's Hospital in Washington, D.C., and Cook County and Providence Hospitals in Chicago until his retirement in 1975. Alice Ball's work helped in the ancient fight against leprosy. She was a pharmacist and chemist. She was born in 1892, Seattle, Washington. Ball was born as the granddaughter of the renowned daguerreotypist James Presley Ball. She studied chemistry at the University of Washington, earning a bachelor's degree in pharmaceutical chemistry in 1912 and a second degree in pharmacy 2 years later. Ball moved to Hawaii and in 1915 became the first woman and first American to graduate with a master's degree in chemistry from the College of Hawaii, now the University of Hawaii. She was also the first American woman chemistry instructor at the University of Hawaii's chemistry department at just 23. 23. George Edward Alcorn Jr. made significant contributions to space research. Space. The sun, the moon, and stars and physics. Born 1940, Pasadena, California. Jane C. Wright was a pioneer in blood cancer research. See, they would call this sister a mulatto. They would call this American Indian sister, Jane C. Wright, a mulatto. What did her great-grandparents call themselves before someone asked them to tell them what they called themselves, or gave them 3 or 4 choices of what to choose of what they wanted to be called? Biologist and physician, born 1919, Manhattan, New York. Yeah. Dorothy Vaughan was an important human computer for NASA. Dorothy Vaughan was an important human computer for NASA. You walk around with your little computer. You walk around with your little tiny computer and medium computer and large computer, 19-inch computer. Dorothy Vaughan was a human computer. Dorothy Vaughan, the human computer. We didn't say the robot. We didn't say the automaton. We said the human computer. Dorothy Vaughan. She was a mathematician and computer scientist. She was born 1910 in West Virginia. Ronald McNair was one of the crew on the Space Shuttle Challenger. He was a physicist, born 1950 in South Carolina. Katherine Johnson was another pioneering NASA mathematician. Physicist and mathematician, born 1918 in West Virginia. West Virginia Indian. Warren M. Washington is a highly influential atmospheric scientist. He was a meteorologist, atmospheric scientist. He was born in 1936 in Portland, Oregon. We were all over the place. Annie Easley was an actual rocket scientist. This woman was This is Annie Easley. She was a rocket scientist, and she's sharp. Annie Easley is sharp. Annie Easley the Dougie rocket scientist. Scientific discipline: computer scientist, mathematician, rocket scientist. Computer scientist, mathematician, rocket scientist. She ain't black. She is American. Born April 23rd, 1933, Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham, Bama. Easley was a trailblazing computer and rocket scientist who developed various critically important NASA software systems. NASA wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Americans. See, the Americans shouldn't have been involved with NASA. Maybe NASA is created by the Americans. I'm starting to think everything was created by the Americans. Now, I don't want to sound like the father on My Big Fat Greek Wedding, to where every single thing that they came at him with, he always said, yes, the Greeks invented that. The Greeks made that. But I mean, sheesh, I'm going through this stuff and it almost seems like, I don't know, it's something about these Americans, the ones they call Black Americans that don't have culture. Easley initially began her career studying to become a pharmacist at Xavier University. After getting married, she worked as a substitute teacher. In 1955, she joined the human computers ranks at NASA, at NACA. Is that NASA? Did they make a typo? She remained with the organization when NACA morphed into NASA. Oh, so she was there from the founding of NASA. They probably made it because of her. She was she joined the human computers ranks. Annie remained with NACA or NASA for 34 years. Arthur B.C. Walker Jr. made significant contributions to optics. He was a physicist, born 1936, Cleveland, Ohio. We were everywhere. Betty Washington Green was an important industrial chemist. She was a chemist, born 1935, Fort Worth, Texas. Charles Henry Turner discovered that honeybees see in color. Wow, that is a connection with nature. That is an extraordinary connection with nature. He discovered that honeybees see in color. Now, listen, I don't know what kind of relationship homie had with the honeybee, but the honeybee trusted him enough to pull him to the side. He was a scientist, research biologist, educator, zoologist, and comparative psychologist. Born 1867. Cincinnati, Ohio. Lloyd Albert Quarterman loved fluorine. Chemist. 1918, he was born. Philadelphia. Shortly after graduating, he was recruited by the War Department. Oh, man. Bro, why did you do it? Oh, man. Little did you know. Little did the brother Quarterman know. Shortly after graduating, he was recruited by the War Department because he loved fluorine to work on the Manhattan Project, becoming one of the very first American scientists to be drafted onto the top secret project. Quarterman had the opportunity to work closely with Enrico Fermi and the University of Chicago and with Albert Einstein at Columbia University. Strange bedfellows. Quarterman was primarily responsible for designing and implementing a distillation process for purifying large quantities of hydrogen fluoride needed to separate and enrich uranium 235 isotopes. After the war, he worked at the Argonne National Laboratory in Chicago, where he would remain for the next 30 years. Beyond his work on the bomb, Quarterman worked with fluoride solutions to create new chemical compounds. In 1967, he developed a corrosive resistant window made of diamonds to study hydrogen fluoride better. He also created a novel xenon compound and assisted in developing the first nuclear reactor for atomic powered submarines. I told you. None of this stuff would be possible without the help of the American. Joan Murrow Owens discovered some new species of coral. What a fascinating job. Marine biologist. She was born in 1933 in Miami, Florida. We were all over the place. 1933 in Miami, Florida. What if I'm pretty sure this woman's family was from Florida. 1933, born in Miami, Florida. You would have to. Owens was born in Miami, Florida, and was the youngest of three children growing up near the sea. She soon showed an interest in ocean life. See, people think when they please don't for a minute think when you hear these names and you hear what these amazing Americans have done, that the Americans before them didn't do amazing things. No, they did these amazing things because of what they were taught by their previous generations of Americans, or sometimes they call us, American Indians. But you'd have to ask this lovely woman, Mrs. Owens, what her parents called her and what her parents called themselves and what her great and second grade and third great grandparents called themselves before you can start calling her something, right? Margaret S. Collins made some big discoveries about termites. Sheesh. I'm saying niggas is in all aspects of the game. Niggas just acting up. Zoologist and entomologist, born 1922, West Virginia. Ernest Everett just developed important physiology techniques. He was a microbiologist, born 1883 in South Carolina Indian. James Andrew Harris helped find some new elements. Homie he just finding new elements. Because the ones that's here, they getting boring. It's getting boring just, studying the ones that's here. Emmett Chappell helped look for life on Mars. He helped look for life where? He's a biochemist and astrochemist. 1925, Phoenix, Arizona. Let me look down and see if he was on any medication. Patricia S. Cowings helped astronauts deal with zero gravity. She was an aerospace psychophysiologist. 1948, she was born. She was born in the BX. She was born in the Bronx, New York. Charles R. Drew helped develop safe blood transfusions. Marie Van Brittan Brown developed an early CCTV system. Marie Van Brittan Brown, the world owes you so much. I hope they paying your family. Nurse and inventor. So she nurtured people and she made stuff. She was born in New York in the Bronx. Born, Brown worked as a nurse while her husband was an electrician. She and her husband's work often led to them working long hours and leaving her home alone at night. This, combined with the time it took for police to respond to call-outs in her crime-ridden neighborhood, inspired her to develop one of the first home security systems ever developed. This woman is born in 1922, and her neighborhood is crime-ridden. Niggas acting up in 1922 and been acting up since before any foreigners got here. So don't just think when you see niggas acting up that it just started. Imagine niggas acting up in the woods. That is crazy. Man, I know the animals was like, what the? Somebody find these niggas some jobs. Somebody, y'all need to go invent some stuff. Get out these woods, man. Leave us alone. This, combined with the time it took for police to respond to call-outs in her crime-ridden neighborhood, inspired her to develop one of the first home security systems ever developed. This woman saw an issue and she came up with a solution, initially developing an innovative camera and peephole system for her front door. She later decided that a radio-controlled wireless system of cameras and wireless televisions would be more practical. She eventually used a radio-controlled system to stream the video to any television in the house. Sheesh. Later developments included a two-way microphone system that allowed occupants to talk remotely to whoever was on the doorsteps. Wow. Realizing the potential for her invention, on August 1st, 1966, Marie and her husband submitted a patent application for her invention. The government granted the patent in 1969. Brown's CCT system would eventually set the standard for all modern systems. This woman's family should be quadrillionaires. Are they quadrillionaires? I have to look up this woman and try to look up her family and see if they're quadrillionaires. And I don't mean that they have a quadrillion paper pieces of fiat currency. No, she has a quadrillion amount of whatever she wants. Percy Julian was a pioneer in the chemical synthesis of some important drugs. He was a chemist born in 1899, Montgomery, Alabama. American Percy Julian. George Robert Carruthers was pivotal in the Apollo 16 mission. He was a physicist, engineer, space scientist, and inventor, born 1939 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Walter Lincoln Hawkins helped pioneer polymer chemistry. He was a chemist, born 1911 in Washington, D.C. This is from Vision. This is from Vision. This is from Vision or VC Solutions, vcsolutions.com. The title of this is Black History Month, properly American History Month, which we don't need a month. As you can see, the Americans have invented everything except nature. Well, nature has offered them ideas, and the Americans took those ideas and invented everything so that everyone on the planet can enjoy an extraordinary or a sensational quality of life. Emmett McHenry, the .com creator. This is by Chuck Lobert, 2021. The internet created a whole new world of digital possibilities. Emmett McHenry created the internet. This is Emmett McHenry. I didn't say this. They said it. VC Solutions. Chuck Lobert. Go look him up. Chuck Lobert. This is his blog, 2021. Email him. Ask him why he lied. If you think he lied. The internet created a whole new world of digital possibilities. Emmett McHenry created the internet so that you and I can communicate. So you and I could peel back the layers of this onion, of this proverbial onion. And so we could address all those that say Americans, or as they say, Black Americans don't have culture. Yes. That is why he created the internet, so that we could communicate and clear some things up. Do the right thing.